What's up, everyone? The award season has finally come to an end. It's been an absolute honor covering this entire award season with you all. It's been crazy, but it's been a lot of fun too. So here we are. We are going to react and respond and talk about the 2025 Academy Awards. Wanted to react to it live, but just decided not to. I had a friend come into town and I had some other film friends who watched it with me, and I just kind of wanted to be in the moment and absorb it all and kind of a clear mindset before I talk about it with you all. Lightly talk about the ceremony a little bit before, we get into everything. Don't worry, we will. But I thought the ceremony was decent. I thought it opened very, very strong. I thought the opening with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo was absolutely incredible. It was chill-inducing. It was stunning, right? It was an awesome way to open the show. And then I thought Conan's opening monologue was pretty good too. The Carla Sofia Gascon joke. There was some hard-hitting jokes early on. Some funny stuff with Chalamet, right? Adam Sandler came back to make that bit go full circle. So I thought the show started really, really strong, really, really funny. And then a couple of the early awards had great energy, but then I did feel like the show kind of dragged. It's ironic because Conan had a whole joking song bit at the beginning about it, wasting everyone's time, and the show is probably going to go over. And then it ended up pushing 3.5 hours. And I think by the end of the night, I felt it, and it felt like the energy for some of the awards, you felt it too. There was a James Bond tribute that with Doja Cat and Lisa and some other kind of pop stars and musical stars, which was okay. It kind of felt awkward though in the middle. There was Margaret Qualley was doing a dance too. So I didn't necessarily love that. And I thought the In Memoriam was pretty underwhelming. I mean, no Trachtenberg, no Tony Todd, right? I thought the song choice for the In Memoriam was weird too. It seems like they botch that every year. I don't know why they can't nail down something really special for that moment. Not sure why. But of course, none of that's why you're here. So why don't let's talk about the winners. Let's talk about the winners of the 2025 Academy Awards. First award of the night, Kieran Culkin wins supporting actor for A Real Pain. We knew this was going to happen, and it should have happened. I mean, the performance is larger than life. It's so memorable. He swept the entire season. A Real Pain is one of my favorite movies of the year, and Kieran Culkin's performance is also one of my favorites of the year. Shout out to Jesse Eisenberg as well. I think the character is written to perfection, and I am so glad to say that A Real Pain is an Academy Award winning movie. When I saw it back in Sundance last January, I felt like it was going to be really special. I even had a tweet saying Kieran Culkin's performance is going to be loved by so many people on film Twitter, and I couldn't have even imagined that it would have resulted in an Academy Award win for him. So it's just so cool. I love it. I'm going to follow suit and jump a little through the ceremony. Zoe Saldana, she completes her sweep as well for her role in Amelia Perez in supporting actress. I do love this win for her career. I do. I'm such a big Zoe fan, even though I don't love Amelia Perez, and her win is going to fall into a camp that I think many people feel about certain actors, where they're winning for a movie that people didn't necessarily love that they won for. But I am glad that none of the controversy got to her. The cheers, the applause when she won, you could tell that room loves her. So what a career moment for her that I thought was fantastic. And I want to book on this with Amelia Perez's second and last win of the night. Original song, El Mal. We knew that was going to happen. It's also Zoe's biggest moment in the movie too, so it felt fitting. And that's where the train stops for Amelia Perez. We'll get to that in a second, but Amelia Perez walks out of there 13 nominations, only 2 wins. Wicked completes its dual victory sweep of costumes and production design, and it's also really, really incredible history was made because Paul Tazwell, who won Best Costume Design for Wicked, he does become the first black man to win in this category. It was an incredible moment during his speech. What a another really nice moment at this year's Academy Awards. Dune Part 2 also takes its combo of sound and visual effects. Thank God, it should be winning so many more Oscars this year. I tweeted earlier in the day too. It is my rightful Best Picture winner, even though of course that wasn't going to happen. So I love seeing Dune Part 2 still take home some Oscars in 2 extremely deserving categories. We also saw The Substance win for Best Makeup, one of the coolest wins in the category ever, in my opinion. I don't think that's hyperbole to say. Just that work, especially in that third act, is absolutely incredible. And once again, I'm so happy to be able to say that The Substance is an Academy Award winning movie. When I came out of my first screening of it back in September, I was so blown away. It was so bonkers, and I loved it. I adored it. Immediately became one of my favorite movies of the year, but I never thought it would be an awards player, and an awards player that was this serious. 5 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Something happens later that I didn't love, but it's okay because The Substance does have an Oscar win, and we'll take it. The Brutalist take home score and cinematography, 2 incredibly deserving wins as well. I mean, The Brutalist probably has the score of the year, in my opinion, outside of Challengers, outside of Dune Part 2, both of which either weren't nominated and Dune wasn't eligible to be nominated, right? I really like the Conclave score too, but The Brutalist is so memorable. Right when that movie starts, that music stays with you, not only the entire film, but long after it ends. It wins cinematography as well. Just a stunning movie. I mean, so many shots in that movie I could frame and put on my wall, right? It should have been Nickel Boys. Nickel Boys should be winning every award here, but that's okay. I love Nosferatu. I thought that would have been a cool win too, but I think The Brutalist is pretty well deserved. It's hard to deny what Lowell Crawley did with that movie. No Other Land does win documentary. Massive win, massive statement for the award show as well. A lot of people were nervous they weren't going to pick this. It also still doesn't have a U.S. distributor, so I unfortunately did not get a chance to see this. Had a chance but couldn't make it. So I hope now that it won the Academy Award and this important message is being put out there, I really hope this gets picked up and put in cinemas or a streaming service somewhere where people can readily access it. Conclave did win adapted screenplay. It's been happening everywhere. This award was sewn up a long time ago. Pretty solid screenplay. I would have liked to see something else in this category win, but there's no denying that this was going to happen. We predicted it, yada, yada, yada. So Conclave, best adapted screenplay. Congratulations. We'll get into craziness, even though for some people, a lot of this wasn't crazy, but for me, some of it was. Some of it we predicted, which we'll get into, and some we didn't. We can talk about the shorts real fast because two of the biggest surprises happened in those categories. So we have The Only Girl in the Orchestra wins, but then we have In the Shadow of the Cypress and I Am Not a Robot both win in the animated category, which I did see those 5 shorts. I didn't see the other short categories. A lot of people were predicting Wander to Wonder because it won the Annie and BAFTA. It was really pretty groundbreaking stop motion, very fluid. Some people thought Yuck was going to win. That would have been my personal preference. So In the Shadow of the Cypress, very, very shocking win, big surprise of the night, although subject matter, style of it all, definitely makes sense. And then I Am Not a Robot takes home the other short category, which I feel like no one was predicting. I really didn't see that being predicted. Animated feature, we predicted this, so I'm glad we held on. Flow upsets The Wild Robot. I know some people will say this wasn't an upset because a lot of people were picking Flow, but you know, when it got put in international feature, I feel like, okay, there's so much passion for it, and this international body of the Academy, when we're still going to talk about some things moving forward, but there's no denying how crucial they were in some areas. The Wild Robot Sound and Score nomination, but in the end, and what they're doing with this category, especially when you look at last year, they're going for something with a little bit more style, a little bit more of a artistic vision to it, as opposed to, you know, the big studio animated movie. So pretty cool win for Flow. All my Brazil people who have been supporting this channel, go crazy, go nuts. I'm Still Here takes Best International Feature away from Emilia Perez. We have been calling this since I saw the movie. We talked about this the minute Oscar nominations came out, even though Emilia Perez had 13. The fact that I'm Still Here got into the Best Picture lineup showed you all these voters were watching the movie, all these voters were loving it and were willing to give it votes. Controversy got to Emilia Perez, then all that started, but there's no denying there was passion for I'm Still Here before all that happened, but a lot of people, some people still ended up leaning on Emilia Perez, just thinking that they weren't going to go any other way. No, we did on this channel. I'm Still Here takes Best International Feature. Congratulations, Brazil. And I will say this too, I know Fernanda Torres doesn't win actress, but her campaign, the way she was out there fighting for this movie for the last month or so, she deserves a lot of credit for making this happen as well. So congratulations to Fernanda Torres being a part of this incredible film and this incredible win. Adrien Brody wins lead actor, and we all knew this was going to happen, even though Timmy won SAG. Really nice SAG win for Timmy, but it always felt like Brody's Oscar. It's my favorite acting performance of the year, so this is my favorite acting win of the 4. I think it's incredibly well deserved. His speech was very long. He gave the longest speech ever, and his speech felt a little awkward at times. God bless Cillian Murphy, who just had to sat there and listen to the whole thing, but it's a towering performance. It is the performance of the year, and it is a lead actor win that I think is going to age incredibly well, especially given the collection in recent memory. I think that acting win tells you that The Brutalist was number 2 in Best Picture. A lot of people thought it was Conclave after BAFTA. They thought it was Anora versus Conclave. No, I really actually think it was Anora versus Brutalist here, given that Anora wins 5 Oscars, which we're going to talk about. I saved all those for the end, but The Brutalist is the next biggest winner with 3, and 3 pretty darn big ones. So a major actor category, 2 major tech categories. So it ultimately ended up, I feel like, Anora versus Brutalist here, and Anora ended up winning that battle, or maybe that war. I don't know. And Anora takes home 5 of its 6 Academy Awards. It wins for Best Editing, it wins Best Actress for Mikey Madison, wins Best Original Screenplay Sean Baker, and then it wins Director and Picture. When this won editing, is when I knew it was over for Demi Moore, for any other chance of something happening. And I have to say something, Sean Baker is someone I really, really love. I really love his films. And although I didn't like Anora as much as I've liked other films of his, he is such a champion of cinema. He is such a champion of independent filmmaking. He has never sold out. He's never went big franchise. He's never done anything different but craft films that he loves and that he thinks that are important to the medium. And so I really, really liked seeing this happen. He's also the only person to win 4 Oscars in one night besides Walt Disney. And his is more impressive. Sean Baker's is more impressive because he sets his own record, because all 4 of his personal wins, editing, screenplay, director, and he was a producer, so he technically wins for picture as well. He's the only one to do it for the same movie. But it takes original screenplay. I was hoping for A Real Pain or something very unprecedented and surprising to happen. That's okay, it didn't happen. It was clear this was Anora's. Then he wins editing, right? And at that moment during the award show, you knew Anora was going to wrap this thing up. So then 3 awards in a row. He wins Best Director. Mikey Madison takes Best Actress. And then it wins Best Picture. What I learned this year, and what a lot of us learned, is always go with the lead acting. No matter the precursors that happen, always pick the lead performance that is in the favorite to win Best Picture. That will bring you along every time. Cillian Murphy last year is a phenomenal example, right? Frances McDormand, Nomadland a couple years ago. That's just what's going to happen. Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Cate Blanchett wins the BAFTA, right? It's just when you are in the stronger Best Picture film, you will prevail. Like I said, even though I'm not the biggest Anora fan, I haven't done a Best Picture ranking, but if I ranked all the movies in the Best Picture category, it's probably 8th for me. And that's crazy because a lot of people have it as their first, their undeniable number 1 movie of the year, number 1 movie of the last few years. I will say this, even though I'm not as high on Anora, and I was hoping for Demi Moore, I really was, but her narrative just was not strong enough to fight the juggernaut that Anora ended up being. Anora ended up having its biggest night of award season at the Academy Awards. That's pretty impressive, just like Parasite did. So it showed you quietly the industry was showing you the signs. All the guilds loved Anora, right? So this was going to happen. Even though I'm not as high on Anora, I will say I love that the Academy did this. So I could zoom out of my own preferences and biases to say, for a movie like this to win Best Picture, couple years ago, for a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once, for a movie like Parasite in 2019, even like The Passion for Coda, I know people don't like that win, the Academy has really expanded its tastes, its membership, and its horizon since 2016, and they're giving us some pretty cool winners. So whether you like Anora or not, I think I can get up and say it is a very cool Best Picture win, given the type of movie it is and just the way the momentum has stayed since it won the Palm. It is pretty cool. That's all she wrote for the Oscars this year. Tell me in the comments, what were some of your favorite wins? What were some wins maybe you didn't like? Some things you wish happened? And we look onward to next year's Academy Awards. I'm thinking about doing some videos about just doing some research on which films might be in the picture next year. But thank you for supporting this channel the whole year. Stay tuned for more reviews, more award stuff, more in-depth stuff is all going to happen on this channel. Also, feel free to follow me on TikTok. I do quicker stuff on there, but that's really where I do a lot of my stuff. So trying to gradually balance TikTok and YouTube. But thank you so much for this season, and I will see you all again very, very soon.